watching WTVC Chattanooga. This is News Channel 9 at 11.
A father's search for answers. Tonight we dig deeper into the mystery surrounding the death of Sophia DeBoard.
Plus, funerals for free. A North Georgia funeral home says if you want to drink and drive this New Year's, they will pick up the cost of your funeral.
And arrested for sexting. A Marion County teenager found out the hard way you send explicit text messages that can get you in a lot of trouble.
What happened to Sophia DeBoard?
A heartbroken and frustrated father reaches out over his daughter's mysterious death tonight. News Channel 9's Will Carr brings us his story. Will?
Kim and Calvin, Sophia DeBoard died just a short in Sophia's case, also declined to comment on the record.
Okay, unanswered questions. Thanks, Will. Sophia's father is pleading for anyone that may know how Sophia died to contact authorities. Until that day comes, he says his only consolation is that Sophia's death helped save lives. We'll have that part of the story tomorrow.
Skies are partly cloudy right now and temperatures right around the freezing.
Thanks, David. A bullet shatters an 18-wheeler's window, hits the driver, and sends him to the hospital. We found shattered glass near this swift 18-wheeler at the Welcome Center off I-75 North in East Ridge. Police tell us a bullet struck the driver in the upper body, and he was taken to Erlanger. We're told he was shot somewhere in Georgia, but he was able to cross into Tennessee and eventually stopped at the Welcome Center. The driver's co-workers tell us they think a hunter's stray bullet accidentally hit the truck. We do not have word tonight on the driver's condition.
Tonight, 4 people are set to ring in the new year on a pretty dubious list. Take a look at the new additions to Hamilton County's most wanted. Shandy Goodgame is wanted for aggravated burglary and forgery. Daniel Harris wanted for theft over $10,000 and dealing meth and hydrocodone. Stacey Wallace is wanted for TennCare fraud and drug charges, and Walter Glenn is wanted for homicide. Police think he killed 17-year-old Carlton Braswell in the Harriet Tubman apartments. If you've seen any of these suspects, please call the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department.
New at 11, which Hamilton County schools are making the grade? Tonight, a study from the Education Consumers Foundation takes a closer look. The rankings use the state's value-added assessment system to rank schools' performances. For elementary schools, the ECF ranks Ooltewah Elementary as first, followed by Gans Middle Valley and East Side Elementary. At the bottom, Hillcrest and Barger Academy. In middle schools, CHCA came in first. Orchard Knob received the lowest ranking. You can see the entire list at newschannel9.com.
It is one of the most commented stories on NewsChannel9.com. A school teacher charged with DUI bailed out of jail by her boss. Shannon Michaels was stopped just after midnight on Saturday, December 19th. Well, yesterday, Superintendent Mark Griffith was out of town, but told us in a phone interview that a law enforcement officer called him about Michaels' arrest. Today, we spoke to Griffin in person about bailing her out of jail.
I knew the situation with Miss Michaels.
Griffin says he has already set up a meeting with the school board to review Michael's status with the system.
Planning to drink and drive this New Year's? Well, one North Georgia funeral home has a deal for you. Between now and noon Thursday, drivers can visit the McGuire, Jennings, and Miller Funeral Home in Rome to sign a contract stating they plan to drink and drive on New Year's Eve. If they die in a wreck that day, the funeral home will give them a free burial. The funeral home has been offering this unique service for years. A spokesperson says the program is designed to save lives by making partygoers think twice about drinking and driving.
A new Georgia law is aimed at slowing drivers down by hitting them in the wallet. Georgia's super speeder law goes into effect Friday. The new law tacks on another $200 state fee for any driver convicted of going 75 miles per hour or more on any two-lane roads. The fine also applies if you're convicted of going 85 and over anywhere in Georgia. Those new state fees will be in addition to any local fines already in effect wherever you're caught speeding. The money collected from the new law will help pay for trauma patients hurt in car wrecks.
Sending inappropriate picture messages via text message lands a 19-year-old in jail. It's called sexting. The Marion County Sheriff's Office says Heather Parris sent a photograph to about 10 students at Whitwell High School, including minors. Investigator Mary Beth Schindel says Parris recently broke up with her 17-year-old boyfriend and sent pictures of his private parts to others. She says one of the recipients was the 17-year-old's younger sibling. That's when the Sheriff's Department was called.
Very dangerous. Would stop and think before they do this.
Parris is charged with the sale, loan, or exhibition of materials to minors.
Tonight, police have charged a man with beating up his ex-girlfriend and holding her at knife point. It happened in Ray County. Dustin Morgan is charged with aggravated domestic assault, aggravated burglary, and false imprisonment. Brittany Everett says he held her at knife point for 6 hours inside her own home last weekend. Morgan is out on bond, but he has also been ordered to stay away from Everett. He is accused of passing counterfeit $100 bills in 2 Alabama counties, and tonight Aubrey Silvers remains in the DeKalb County Jail. Police say Silvers and Christy Greeson passed fake $100 bills at a Walmart in Fort Payne. Police think the two may also be responsible for passing fake money in Scottsboro. Greeson is free on bond. The Secret Service has stepped in to help in the investigation.
Scam artists have hit hard and drained many bank accounts. An automated recorded call went out the day after Christmas to a block of Chickamauga area numbers. Now, the recorded message claimed to be with the Bank of Chickamauga and that ATM cards had been restricted. Turns out this was a phishing call set up on a dedicated line, luring customers to call back with their account and personal identification numbers. We found one victim who followed the instructions, only to have her checking account hit for $400. One bank executive would not put a specific number of how many people have been ripped off, but says it could be more than 100.
Do not scams.
In addition, Wood says the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation will not cover these losses because it involves third-party fraud. The FBI is involved, and investigators suspect the scam originated in another country. And take a look at this. It's one list you don't want your bank on. The FDI adds 5 banks to a list of banks that need to improve their finances and operations. They include 3 in North Georgia: First Bank of Dalton, the Northwest Georgia Bank in Ringgold, and the Bank of Ellijay. The FDIC says the banks have to boost their capital levels and take steps to shore up their balance sheets, including reducing the number of bad loans on the books.
Tonight we're learning a little bit more about a fire at the historic Trundle House in Ringgold. While investigators search for a cause of the fire that destroyed the roof and attic level of the house, we dig deeper into the history of the house. According to a book on Catoosa County heritage, the house was built in 1872 by Loomis and Dwayne Knapp, 2 cousins from New York. It was also sold to Morris Powell in 1890. 17 years later, it was sold to David Trundle, and it transferred to a couple family members throughout the years. Current owner Betty Trundle now lives in a nursing home. Her family has been overseeing the renovations that include a new roof.
You guys were able to.
The Georgia State Fire Marshal's office is handling the investigation.
What was that boom that rattled Maury County tonight? We received several calls from residents concerned about the repeated explosions. Maury County Sheriff's Dispatch tells us the GBI was involved in the disposal of 60 sticks of old dynamite at a home in the Chatsworth area. That dynamite was decomposing, and the contractor who owns the property did have the proper license for it. Authorities say no one was in danger. Tonight, News Channel 9 has new information related to a methamphetamine bust at a Fort Oglethorpe motel. Police have arrested Carl Cash and Johnny Walker from room 159 at the Cloud Springs Lodge Sunday evening. This afternoon, we learned the manager of the weekly rental hotel tipped police. She told us she noticed the smell of meth coming from that room. Police say Cash and Walker were using the shake and bake, or portable method of making meth.
And now here's a look at some of the stories making national and international headlines tonight. President Barack Obama says critical information on a terror suspect was not shared as it should have been. Tonight, the president says he wants a preliminary report on what went wrong on Christmas Day by Thursday. A new intelligence report is raising concern about Iran's nuclear activities. It says Iran is close to clinching a deal to secretly import tons of purified uranium from Kazakhstan in defiance of the UN Security Council. Iran needs the material to feed its uranium enrichment program. A New Jersey father who won a custody battle against the Brazilian relatives of his 9-year-old boy says he can't understand why they would go back to court. David Goldman says his son is enjoying being in the United States. He was taken to Brazil during a vacation by his mother, who died last year.
Good news tonight for drivers affected by a massive rock slide in Polk County. Crews are making progress clearing U.S. Highway 64. Take a look. Now, this is what the site looked like today. Crews have been busy working on the east side of the slope to remove loose boulders and debris. Meanwhile, workers on the west side area are still drilling the slope. And crews have completed the construction of a long protective rockfall fence. Highway 64 is expected to be cleared sometime next month. And a warning tonight if you drive U.S. Highway 27 in the Chickamauga area of Walker County. Expect some delays. The Georgia Department of Transportation says 2 northbound lanes of the highway by Shaw Industries will be closed. Traffic will be moved into the southbound lanes. 1 lane in both directions will be closed so that Shaw can replace a tall tower next to the highway. A music mogul returns home to share his story as inspiration.
Still to come on News Channel 9 at 11, we'll tell you why Romeo Johnson is now making a plea to parents in his community.
But first, David Glenn has a look at the Storm Track 9 forecast.
You're watching